If you've ever looked at an investing app and thought, what am I even looking at? This video is for you. Because a lot of people want to start investing, but the second they see ticker symbols, charts, bid, ask, and all these random numbers, it starts to feel way more complicated than it should. So before I ever sat here making finance videos, I spent years working in wealth management and managed an investment portfolio of over $1 billion in client assets. So trust me, I've seen how confusing this stuff can look at first, but once you understand the basics, it gets way easier. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to buy stocks and how to read stock quotes in a really simple way. By the end, you'll understand what all these numbers mean, how to place a stop order, and what mistakes beginners should avoid so you don't lose money. So let's dive in! Splash. And honestly, the stock market confuses a lot of smart people in the beginning. Not because stocks are impossible to understand, but because most platforms throw information at you before anyone explains the basics. You open the app and see a company name, a ticker symbol, a stock price, percentages, charts, and random terms like volume, market cap, bid, and ask. And if you're brand new, that can feel like a lot. So instead of trying to make this sound impressive, I just want to make it make sense. Let's start with the most important thing. A stock is a small ownership piece of a company. That's it. Okay? When you buy a share of a business, you're buying a tiny slice of that company. So if that company grows, earns more money, and investors feel good about its future, the stock price may go up. If the company struggles, misses expectations, or people lose confidence in it, the stock price may go down. That's why I always want beginners to understand this early. Buying a stock is not just pressing a button on your phone. You're putting money into a business. That mindset alone can save you from a lot of bad decisions. And that's honestly one of the biggest mindset shifts in investing. You are not buying noise. You are not buying vibes. You are buying ownership in a business. All right, now let's talk about the part that scares most beginner investors at first, the stock quote. A stock quote is basically a quick snapshot of a stock at that moment. And once you know what you're looking at, it's really not that bad. Here are the main things you'll usually see. First, you'll see the company name. That's the actual business you're looking at, okay? That's it. Then you'll see the ticker symbol. That's just the stock's short code. Think of it like the stock's nickname. Then you'll see the share price, which is what one share costs right now. You'll also usually see the day change and the percentage change. That's just showing you how much the stock has moved today, both in dollar terms and in percentage terms. Then you'll usually see volume. That tells you how many shares have been traded today. And sometimes you'll also see average volume, which tells you what the stock normally trades on a typical day. So if today's volume is way above average, that can be a sign that more people are paying attention to the stock than usual. You'll probably also see market cap, which is basically a quick way to understand how big the company is in the stock market. And depending on the app, you might also see a few extra things like previous close, which is where the stock finished the last trading day and is often where today's move is being measured against. Open, which is the price where the stock started trading that day. The day's range, sometimes shown as the day's high and low, which tells you the highest and lowest price the stock has traded so far today. The 52-week range, which shows the highest and lowest price the stock has traded at over the last year, and sometimes yield, especially on dividend stocks or certain ETFs, which tells you the income that investment pays relative to its price. So when you look at a stock quote, I don't want you to panic. Okay, that screen is mostly just telling you what company you're looking at, what one share cost, how the stock is moving, how active trading is around it, and a few extra details for context. That's really it. Once you understand those basics, the quote screen starts feeling a lot less intimidating. Now let's talk about 3 words that make stock apps look way scarier than they really are. Bid, ask, spread. Here's the simple version. Bid. The bid is the highest price a buyer is willing to pay right now. ask. The ask is the lowest price a seller is willing to accept right now. Spread. The spread is the difference between those two numbers, the bid and the ask. So let's look at this quick example. If the stock has a bid of $24.98 and the ask is $25.00, that 2-cent difference is the spread. But why does this matter? Well, because when you buy, you're usually buying closer to the ask. And when you sell, you're usually selling closer to the bid. For big popular stocks, the spread is often pretty tiny. For smaller or less active traded stocks, the spread can be wider. And that matters because a bigger spread can quietly cost you more than you expected. Let's take a quick moment here, okay? Because I want to get this off my chest, all right? Here's something I need to say. A stock being up today does not automatically mean it's too late to buy. And a stock being down today does not automatically mean it's a bargain either. Investors can get trapped when they focus too much on one day instead of the bigger picture. Okay? Now let's get into the part that matters when you're actually ready to buy a stock. When you place an order, most investing platforms will ask how you want to buy the stock. The two main order types beginners should know are a market order. A market order means buy this stock for me right now at the best available price. It's simple, it's fast, but the exact price can move a little while the order is being filled. And this is where what we just talked about with the bid and ask starts to matter, okay? If a stock is very active, the gap between the bid and ask is usually small. So the price difference may not be a big deal. But if the stock is less active, the gap can be wider. And you could end up paying more than you expected if you're not paying attention. Okay? So a market order is really about speed. It says, get me in now. And that's why market orders can feel fine on very active stocks. But on less active ones, price control matters a lot more. So that leads us to the second order type that we're going to talk about today, a limit order. A limit order means only buy this stock if I can get it at this price or better, okay? So if a stock is trading around $20, you might go ahead and set a limit order at $19. A simple way to think about it is like this. It's kind of like haggling or making an offer and saying, I'm interested, but I'm not paying more than this amount. Okay, this is all I'm willing to offer for this product. All right, if the stock can be bought at your limit price or lower, the order goes through. If the stock doesn't hit that price, the order just sits there and waits. And depending on the timing, it may eventually expire and get canceled. Okay, and this works when you're selling a stock or ETF as well. If you're selling, a limit order just basically means only sell my stock if I can get this price or better. All right, imagine you were putting a house on the market and you had your price that you wanted to sell it at, and if you didn't get any offers for that price, you're like, you know what, only this price or better. Similar idea. So on the buy side, it helps stop you from overpaying, and on the sell side, it helps stop you from selling for less than you wanted. So the easiest way to remember it is this: market order is for speed, limit order is for price control. And for a lot of investors, price control can be really helpful because it gives you fewer surprises. And one thing I really want to say here is this: don't buy a stock just because it sounds exciting or because everybody's talking about it. Do your own research, understand what you're buying, and make sure it actually fits your goals, your timeline, and your risk tolerance. Because not every investment is meant for every person. Okay? All right, now that you understand the order types, let's walk through what actually happens when you go to buy a stock step by step. Step one, open a brokerage account. You need an investing platform or brokerage account to buy stocks. And that could be through a bank or an online investing app. Step two, add money to the account. Once the account is open, you transfer money into it. Step three, search for the stock or ETF. Type in the company name or the ticker symbol. Step four, decide how much you want to buy. You can either choose the number of shares or on some platforms, invest a dollar amount using fractional shares. So if a stock costs 50 bucks and you want to invest $200, that's basically 4 shares, okay? Step 5, choose your order type. Pick a market order or a limit order. Step 6, review everything, okay? Before you hit confirm and place that trade, double check. Are you buying the right stock? Are you okay with the price? Are you buying the right amount? Do you understand what you're buying? And that takes us to number 7, place the order. Once you hit confirm, your order gets sent through, and that's it. That's how you buy a stock. When you break it down, it's actually much simpler than people think. Now, before you buy any stock, here are a few questions you should ask yourself. 1, what does this company actually do? If you can't explain the business in 1 or 2 simple sentences, slow down. That usually means you need to do a bit more homework. 2, why am I buying it? Am I buying this because I understand the company and believe in it long term? Or am I buying it because I saw it trending online and don't want to feel left out? That second reason gets a lot of people in trouble. 3, do I understand the risk? Stocks move up and down. Even good companies can drop. So never invest money you might need in the short term. 4, am I too concentrated? Putting all your money into one stock is risky. That's why a lot of beginners eventually realize it makes sense to spread their money across different investments instead of betting everything on one company or even just one country. And one more thing, if you buy a stock and then stare at it all day, you're going to stress yourself out for no reason. Watching short-term moves too closely can push people into emotional decisions, and emotional decisions usually don't end well in investing. Now, here are 6 common mistakes I see investors make. 1, buying something they don't understand. If you don't understand the business, don't rush into it. Mistake number 2, thinking a low share price means it's cheap. A $5 stock is not automatically a better deal than a $200 stock. Their share price alone tells you almost nothing about whether it's a good investment. Mistake number 3, chasing hype and trends. Just because everybody is talking about a stock doesn't mean it's smart to buy for you and your financial goals. Mistake number 4, ignoring fees. Depending on the platform, there could be a trading fees, conversion fees, or other costs, so always know what you're paying. Mistake number 5, investing money that you need soon. Stock should be bought with money that you can leave invested, okay? Not money for next month's bills, all right? And number 6, panic selling. A stock dropping for a day or a week does not automatically mean you made a terrible decision. You need to separate short-term movement from long-term business quality. So now let's make this real with a simple example. Let's say you're looking at this stock quote, okay? The stock price is $25. That means one share costs about $25. You may also notice the previous close, which was $24.50. So that helps explain why the stock is showing as up on the day. The stock opened at $24.70 and now it's at $25. So it's still trading above where it started today. Right? You can also see the stock is up 50 cents today, which is about a little over 2%. And the bid is $24.98, and the ask is $25. So the spread is very small, which is normal for a stock with decent activity. Okay, the volume is 1.2 million shares and the average volume is 850,000, which tells you trading activity today is a bit higher than normal. You can also see the days range, which shows the stock moved between $24.60 and $25.10 today. And the 52-week range, which gives you a bigger picture view of where the stock is traded over the last year. You can see that here as well. And as a dividend-paying stock or ETF, the yield tells you the income it pays relative to its price. And if you wanted to buy 10 shares of this stock, that would cost around $250, not including any fees if your platform charges them though, okay? So if you want to buy it right away, You might use a market order. If you want more control over the exact price, you might use a limit order. That's how you read it. Once you understand the language, the whole thing starts feeling much less intimidating. So at the end of the day, buying stocks really comes down to a few simple things. Understand what you're looking at, know how the order works, and make sure you actually understand the business before you invest. Because investing is not just about buying a stock. It's about buying something that makes sense for your goals, your timeline, and your risk tolerance. And if you want to go one step deeper before you invest, watch my other video here, where I break down the 6 key things that I used to look at when I was helping high net worth clients build wealth during my time managing a $1 billion portfolio at the bank. And if this video helped, drop a comment and let me know what investing topic you want me to break down next. Cheers.